Good morning, dear students. The other day, a question was given to you. A question was sent to you, and you were asked to answer. It was also informed to underline the words that undergo changes while reported. I think you have done this. And now, look into it, look into the question that we sent, and I shall go on reading the words. Give attention. I shall go on reading at the words which I have underlined to make you understand the question and to make it more easy for you to answer. In the first line, the very second word is, the helping verb is underlined, and lastly the last word you is underlined. Then go to following line. Three words are underlined there. The first one is I, the second one is the middle one no, K-N-O-W, no, and the last one this. Come to next line. I shall read the words which are underlined. You, run, will. These three words are underlined. And the following lines, which are told by the criminal, I shall go on announcing the words which are underlined. I shall go on naming the words which I have underlined. Give attention. I, have, I, do, you, have, my, your, will, me, turn, me, I, have, again I, have, here, again I, have, next line I, cannot, you, may, next you, like, I, do. And in the last three lines told by the minister, which are the words I shall tell, is, you, has, your. These are the words which I have underlined. Also, these are the words which undergo change when reported. So, now let us learn how to report it. You have the question in front of you. Keep it in front of you, and I shall go on explaining what to do while reporting. Yes. What is the first line? Minister says, there is no guard to keep you. Now this, one more thing that you should have to note is that all the sentences that I have given in this preparation are only assertive sentences. These are statements. Why? In order to make the question understand more easily and acquire the knowledge of reporting the speech perfectly. Here, in this question, only assertive sentences are used. In my next exercise, I shall give other kind of sentences. Only one kind. I may give interrogative sentences. Remember that there are two kinds in imperative sentences, in interrogative sentences itself. One is of WH kind and the other is yes, no. And thirdly, I shall use examples only of imperative sentences. Why do I do so? Because while reporting the speech, the other day I told you that you should note at the kinds of the sentences given in the speech, because every kind of a sentence has its own grammatical grammatical procedure. While reporting a given assertive sentence, we shall have to use certain grammatical rules. And while changing or while reporting an imperative sentence, we shall have to use some other grammatical aspects. And while changing an exclamatory sentence into a reported speech, you shall have to use some other grammatical aspects. Each kind of sentence follows its own grammatical rules. So you should have to learn it step by step. Today I am using only assertive sentences. Only assertive sentences are given here. These are only assertive sentences. We may call them statements. Yes. Now begin. What is that? Minister says, there is no guard to keep you. Now you should write the answer for this. The minister. While writing the answer, you should add the definite article. Who made the statement? Who told it? You cannot plainly write minister. You cannot write without adding the definite article before the noun. The minister. Next. Probably you may like to use the minister told. No, wrong. Don't use the word told here, because the listener is already aware of the situation. What is the minister telling? There is no guard to keep you. Sir, ಏನು ಆತಾಡಿ ಸರ್ ಇದು? ಸರ್ ವೈಟ್ ಆಗಿಬಿಟ್ಟಿದೆ ಏಕದಮ್ಮ. ಮತ್ತೆ ಬಂತ್ರಿ, ಮತ್ತೆ ಬಂತು ಎಲ್ಲ ಸ್ಕ್ರೀನ್ ವೈಟ್ ಆಗಿಬಿಟ್ಟಿದೆ, ಮತ್ತೆ ಬಂತು. ಎಸ್, ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು. What does it say? There is no guard to keep you. This is known to the listener. The criminal knows that there was no a guard to keep him. So the minister reminded. That is the proper word. That is a suitable word here. The minister reminded the criminal that there was, instead of is, was. There was no guard to keep. Don't repeat the word you as it is. Make a change. To keep him. To keep him. The word him here refers to the criminal. So what is the answer? The minister reminded the criminal that there was no guard to keep him. Over. Then. What is the next line? Now the criminal is speaking. What does he say? Yes, I know this. Here, what are the words underlined? I is underlined. This is underlined. So, those two words, while reporting, undergo a change. The criminal. Don't write plainly criminal. As you did before, as you have used the definite article the before the minister, before writing the word minister, so also here you have to use the definite article the criminal. The criminal told, you may say, the criminal told that he knew that. The word this changes into that. Note at this change. Note at these minute changes. This is how to learn this. I have to prepare answer for this question. You should give attention at every minute change. Otherwise, you cannot acquire the full knowledge. You should have the capacity to get to earn all the 5 marks out of 5 while answering this question. Then come. What is the next line? Here the minister is speaking. If you run away, the prince will not mind. Yes. Here, the conversation is going on. between the minister and the criminal. First, the criminal spoke something, the criminal heard it, and the criminal replied to the words what the minister had told, and then now the conversation is continuing. So I am supposed to use a word which is not there in order to give a correction and to make the conversation more meaningful. So then the minister added the word then, T-H-E-N. While writing, you make no difference between the then and the than. You don't know the difference. You don't find any difference between the then and the than. You will write as and how you want. It is wrong. Then, T-H-E-N. Then the minister added. These two words are newly adopted, newly brought in, newly taken into use. Then the word was not there, but those I have taken it simply to give a correct form to a meaningful form to the conversation. Then the minister added. This word also is not there. Added. I have used it simply to make the conversation meaningful and to have a proper sense while reading. Then the minister added that. The word that is not there, it is introduced. This is how you should learn to use. Then the minister added that if he, who do you think the word he refers to here? The word he here refers to the criminal. Then the minister added that if he ran away, the prince would not mind. Will is changed into would. Yes. Will is changed into would. The prince would not mind. Give a full point. Then, to this, these words are not there, but I had to use it. To this means to these words or to this statement, the criminal replied that, see once again that I have taken. To this, the criminal replied that he had, who do you think the word he refers to? To the criminal. He had nowhere to go. He did not run away, full point. Further, he continued that. See how I have used some other words which are not there in the speech. Further is newly adopted. Continued, newly taken in. Why? To give a connection between the sentences. Further, he continued that they. Who do you think the word they refers to? The word refers to the ministers and some others who were in charge of administration, in charge of the office of the king, office of the prince. That they had ruined his character. My is changed into his. My is changed into his. Had ruined his character by their sentence. Your is changed into their. The word denoting second person is changed into equally third person by their sentence. People would. Will is changed into would. People would not welcome him. Me is changed into him. He had. The word I denoting first person is changed into third person. Please remember that words denoting first person or sometimes words denoting second person. Not all the time, sometimes. But the words denoting first person always change into third person. But the words denoting second person may change or may not change. Means they may remain the same. It depends upon the conversation. It depends upon the situation to whom the words refer to. That you should learn to understand. He had got, people would not welcome him. He had got out of the way. The word I is changed into had. He had got out of the way of working. As he had been. See here. I have is changed into he had. As he had been there for 1 year, he had grown. I is changed into he. He had grown very lazy and he could not work. I cannot is changed into he could not. He could not work. They might do. You may do. They might do. You may do. They might do. You and may are changed into past form. They might do whatever they liked. You is changed into third person. They liked, but he did not run away. Come to the last sentences. The minister told that the prince was very much worried of the expenditure of keeping him. He had to pay. Who had to pay? The prince. Yes. He had to pay for everything to fulfill his needs. Whose needs? Needs of the criminal who was in the prison. To fulfill his needs like food and other things. So, with this answer is given to you. Keep the question as well as the answer in front of you. We shall send this. Once again, we shall send the same question what was sent earlier. And in this, the special feature is that the words which undergo changes are underlined to make you understand the way of replying, way of preparing the answer for this. Unless and until you practice, you cannot acquire the knowledge. All your laziness leads to a loss. Don't be lazy, please. It is for your benefit. I am reminding you, please don't be lazy. The better you try, the better would be your future and the better would be your performance. Your luck is not in your forehead, but it is in your arms. It is in your arms. The harder you try, the better would be the result. Thank you. With this I close, and soon I shall send the question in which the words are underlined. Also I shall send the answer which I have prepared fully for your understanding. Keep trying. Thank you. With this I shall close today's class. Let us meet tomorrow. Thank you.